up as a kid, yeah. All a nigga wanna have was a Burberry scarf and $3 in my pocket. Instead I got beat with a switch, but I don't give a fuck, but it's on my body. Scars all up on me, but I run around from.
What is up, everybody? It's JT Sports Max, you guys, with another video. This video, I'm here with my Jacksonville Jaguars 2020 NFL training camp news and update. Going to be giving you guys the latest news concerning the Jacksonville Jaguars August 18th training camp session. A lot of my friends have been asking me to do this video because for those of you guys who don't know, I do live in the city of Jacksonville, and it's a lot of the Jacksonville Jaguar fans in Jacksonville. So a lot of people have been asking me to make a video concerning the Jacksonville Jaguars training camp, what's going around during their training camp session. So before I get into it, make sure that you guys hit that like button and subscribe to the channel because I upload NFL videos and NFL content daily. Also make sure that you guys hit that notification button right next to the subscribe button so you get alerted every time I upload a new video. And I'm going to be uploading these training camp news and update videos for all 32 NFL teams as we inch closer to the start of the upcoming NFL season. So the biggest takeaway from the Tuesday training camp session for the Jacksonville Jaguars on August 18th was that the offense looked a lot better than what it looked like Monday on August 17th. Now, Monday was basically the first day that Jacksonville Jaguars and basically most of the NFL teams suited up for full contact practices. Now, the Jacksonville Jaguars offense really struggled. The defense got the better of them on Monday, and a lot of Jacksonville Jaguar fans were kind of overreacting on Twitter, in my opinion, because they were like, oh, God, here we go, another year that offense isn't going to be all that great and things like that. And I was trying to tell Jacksonville Jaguar fans, I was like, dude, you guys got to kind of relax. You got a new offensive coordinator. You're learning a new system. So you haven't played football in a very good amount of time. And this is basically your first practice with everybody suited up in full pads going full throttle. So, I mean, you can't expect, to take a couple of months off and then expect everything to be, smooth sailing, especially when you have a new offensive coordinator and Jay Gruden. So it's going to kind of take a little bit of time for the Jacksonville Jaguars offense to mesh, and they meshed a little bit better this past practice than they did Monday. Now, some of the breakout stars or some of the key players from that Tuesday practice that Jacksonville Jaguars had on the 18th was DJ Chark. Now, DJ Chark and Gardner Minshew's chemistry was really on display. It looked like Gardner Minshew had a lot of confidence in DJ Chark. He kind of threw the ball a little bit further than he was throwing most wide receivers because DJ Chark has really good speed and he is a really incredible deep threat. So Gardner Minshew had a lot of faith and a lot of confidence in DJ Chark to go after those balls that, Gardner Minshew was kind of putting a little bit ahead compared to the rest of the wide receivers that he was throwing the football to. So he has a lot of trust in DJ Chark, and from the reports, they have really good chemistry and really good timing. So right off the bat, we already know that DJ Chark is going to be Gardner Minshew's #1 option heading into the start of the 2020 NFL season, and that he pretty much is his favorite target on this offense. Now, Gardner Minshew was also very impressive as well. He was throwing darts all day in the August 18th training camp session for the Jaguars. He had some nice passes to DJ Chark, and he had some really nice passes to other wide receiver Chris Conley. So Gardner Minshew has been really impressive so far, and I think it's really important that Gardner Minshew gets off to a good start because here's the thing. Although Gardner Minshew had the second best rookie season out of all the rookie quarterbacks from last year, I still don't know if the Jacksonville Jaguars are fully committed to Gardner Minshew because, they did use a 6th round selection on him, and if the Jacksonville Jaguars are in a good spot to draft, a guy like Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields or Trey Lance, I don't really know if they're going to end up passing up on one of those guys. So Gardner Minshew still has to come out this season and prove to the Jacksonville Jaguars that he is the guy who can lead this franchise for years to come. So next up is the competition for who's going to end up being Gardner Minshew's backup, and it's between Joshua Dobbs and Mike Glennon. Now, according to the reports and what I've seen on Twitter, Joshua Dobbs is kind of running away with the backup quarterback spot because, one, he is a little bit of a better passer than Mike Glennon because a lot of his passes, Joshua Dobbs has really good touch. And two, another reason why he's outshining Mike Glennon is because Mike Glennon doesn't really have a lot of athleticism and he's not really able to invade the rush. In this day and age of the NFL with all these pass rushers like your Chase Youngs of the world that are coming out running these fast 40 times on really fast and really athletic coming off the edge, you got to have a quarterback that's able to step up in the pocket and avoid those defenders. And Mike Glennon simply doesn't have the speed. So Mike Glennon right now is kind of getting outworked and outperformed by Joshua Dobbs so far. And for those of you guys who don't know how Joshua Dobbs got on the Jacksonville Jaguars roster. When Ben Roethlisberger went down with his season-ending elbow injury, the Steelers opted to go with Mason Rudolph over Joshua Dobbs. They traded Joshua Dobbs to the Jacksonville Jaguars, and they promoted Devlin Duck Hodges from the practice squad. So that's how the Jacksonville Jaguars ended up with Joshua Dobbs. But Joshua Dobbs, coming from a Steelers fan, has always been pretty solid in the offseason. I think he's a pretty reliable backup option because of his ability to run around and extend plays. He also has pretty good touch as well. So, I mean, I'm not really surprised that he's kind of starting to pull away and separate himself in this backup quarterback competition from Mike Glennon. And Mike Glennon, the only thing that Mike Glennon really has on Joshua Dobbs is experience, and he kind of has had a little bit of success in the NFL as a backup, but it's starting to look like Joshua Dobbs is starting to pull away with that. Now, the next thing is that Leonard Fournette got a lot of work in the August 18th training camp session Tuesday for the Jacksonville Jaguars. They were running the ball a lot. Leonard Fournette was doing Leonard Fournette things. He was breaking a lot of tackles. He had a couple of big gains as well. But one of the biggest things that stood out to me was that Leonard Fournette has improved his ability to catch the ball out of the backfield. He caught a 25-yard pass from Gardner Minshew. And we're not talking about a 25-yard, a pass that he got thrown to behind the line of scrimmage and he took for 24 yards. No, Leonard Fournette actually ran the route down the field and Gardner Minshew hit him for a 25-yard reception. And that's something that a lot of people have really complained about with Leonard Fournette, because Leonard Fournette is a really good halfback. But one reason that Leonard Fournette kind of isn't, at the level that he should be is because he's not really all that great. He's not really that big of a threat catching the ball out of the backfield. So I'm really encouraged by the fact that Leonard Fournette is starting to make some plays in the passing game and training camp for the Jacksonville Jaguars, because if Leonard Fournette becomes a threat in the passing game, then he could end up becoming one of the best halfbacks in the NFL, or top 5 halfbacks in the NFL. Because when you look at who are the best halfbacks in the game, your Ezekiel Elliott, your Christian McCaffrey, your Saquon Barkley, or whoever, all those halfbacks are really good catching the ball out of the backfield. And that's something that Leonard Fournette has kind of struggled with since he got drafted out of LSU a couple of years ago. So it's good to see that he's starting to make progress in that department. Now, Laviska Shenault has pretty much been the MVP on the offensive side of football throughout the Jacksonville Jaguars training camp. I mean, Monday and today, at the time of recording this, all I've seen is Laviska Shenault is making all kinds of plays. I mean, this guy is... When he was coming out of Colorado, a lot of people were concerned about his durability. Well, so far he hasn't had any injury hiccup, so he's been pretty healthy. And I mean, he's been doing a lot. I mean, he's been catching passes underneath, he's been catching deep routes as well. So Laviska Shenault is the full package. And I mean, the Jacksonville Jaguars wide receiving core looks a little bit underrated in my opinion, because you got DJ Chark, you got Chris Conley, you got Dede Westbrook, and you got Laviska Shenault, who probably could have a really good rookie season based on the reports I've been hearing for training camp when it comes to Jacksonville Jaguars and Laviska Shenault. And I know a lot of people probably gonna be like, oh, JT, everybody raves about their rookies. Well, I mean, if you go on Twitter and you look at Jacksonville Jaguars training camp, or you just type in Laviska Shenault, you're going to see about 1,000 or 1,000,000 tweets talking about how great Laviska Shenault has been throughout training camp for the Jacksonville Jaguars. So, I mean, if everybody is raving about you, that means that you're doing something right. So, in my opinion, I think Laviska Shenault has been the offensive MVP so far throughout Jacksonville Jaguars training camp as we end day 2. Now, on the defense side of the football, Josh Allen, not surprisingly, has been the best player on the defense side of the football. The Jacksonville Jaguars throughout training camp have been lining him up in all kinds of different positions. So, I mean, this season, we're going to expect to see Josh Allen lining up everywhere. And given the success that he had his rookie season, I'm expecting Josh Allen to have a 15-sack season this year, and I'm expecting him to be a candidate for Defensive Player of the Year this year. I think Josh Allen is that good. And if you guys are OG subscribers to the channel, you guys will know that I felt that Josh Allen was the best defensive player coming out of that 2019 draft class. I felt that he was better than Nick Bosa, which a lot of people disagree with me with, and I felt like Josh Allen was more complete. He can do a little bit more. You can line him up in a little bit more formations, line him up in different positions than what you can do with Nick Bosa. And that's not taking anything away from Nick Bosa. Nick Bosa is a great player, but I felt like Josh Allen was a better player. And I mean, he kind of proved that last year. So I mean, Josh Allen, not to anybody's surprise, has been the best player on the defense side of the football for the Jacksonville Jaguars so far throughout training camp. And Miles Jack didn't practice. It's not COVID related or anything like that. It's not disclosed. So he should be back in a couple of days. Dakota Allen was taking reps at linebacker. For those of you guys who don't know who Dakota Allen is most notably known for his time in the original season of Last Chance U at East Mississippi Community College. So he's starting to take some reps at linebacker with Joe Schubert as well. And Kayvon Chasen did not practice, so we don't really know the timetable for Kayvon Chasen's return. The Jacksonville Jaguars first round pick from this past year's draft out of LSU. We don't really know when he's going to suit up in practice. Wasn't really able to find a timetable for his return. So this is it for the Jacksonville Jaguars August 18th training camp update and news. Let me know what you guys think about it down in the comment section down below. Make sure that you guys like the video and subscribe to the channel for more NFL videos and content. And thank you guys for watching.